guys, so today we're going to continue reading Mr. Klutz is Nuts. So remember, our principal, Mr. Klutz, has done a lot of crazy things, and this is our main character, AJ. So far we've read that Mr. Klutz is this crazy principal that rides skateboards into bushes at school, and AJ is one of his students, and AJ got in trouble for throwing or shooting a hockey ball or puck not into the net at recess. So his teacher, Miss Daisy, sent him to the principal's office. But lo and behold, Mr. Klutz, the principal, instead of telling AJ his consequences or things that he can do to make up for his bad behavior, instead Mr. Klutz gave him a candy bar. So now all the kids that AJ talks with, like Andrea, like Ryan, all of them are asking, what do you mean you got a candy bar at the principal's office? That's kind of crazy. We all want candy bars now. So let's find out. So we are on chapter 5, My Big Mouth. I'll move that over for you guys. My Big Mouth. So let's turn to that page. Let's see. Sorry, boys and girls. 27. Okay, here we go. My Big Mouth. So I asked you guys yesterday to make predictions about what my big mouth, what do you think that means? So let's find out. It just so happens that I know the perfect way to get sent to the principal's office. All you have to do is put on a tack on the teacher's chair. Now, boys and girls, a tack is basically what maybe you've seen Mrs. Halpern do, but you stick almost like a nail or a peg into a cork board. So that's a type of material that you can hang papers on. So a perfect example of that is the bulletin board, where Mrs. Halpern puts maybe all your work each and every month showing how awesome you guys are doing. That's a tack. You stick a tack into a piece of paper and you stick the tack onto the wall. This way you guys may not know what that word is, so this way it's explained. So all you have to do is put a tack on the teacher's chair. So that basically means you're putting a sharp, pointy, almost like a nail on the teacher's chair. My friend Billy told me he did that once and got sent to the principal's office. I waited until recess when Emily and Andrea ran off to play with the girls. And then I told them the plan to my best friend Ryan and Michael. "That's genius!" exclaimed my best friend Ryan. "What if Miss Daisy gets hurt?" asked Michael. So there's AJ holding the tack, right? It's shiny and it's pointy and it could really hurt somebody. "She won't get hurt," I told him. "She'll jump up so fast that she won't hardly feel it." So at the end of recess, the three of us snuck back into our classroom. It was empty. Miss Daisy was eating in the teacher's room. Ryan pulled a tack out of the bulletin board and put it on Miss Daisy's chair. Then we ran out to the playground, and just as the end of recess bell was ringing, when we filed back into the class, Ryan, Michael, and I could barely look at one another because we were afraid we'd burst out laughing. I could hardly wait to see the look on Miss Daisy's face when she sat on her chair. Well, when Miss Daisy sat down, the most amazing thing happened. Nothing. She didn't jump up or anything. She just sat there. Me and Ryan and Michael looked at one another. "How could she not feel that? She must have buns of steel," Ryan whispered. "She's like Superman." Then I realized that I had forgotten to tell Ryan something very important. When you put a tack on the teacher's chair, you're supposed to put the tack a little bit on one side. When you put it in the middle of the chair, the tack sort of, doesn't have a target to hit, if you know what I mean. Miss Daisy got up to do math, not even realizing that there was a tack on her butt. When she turned around to write on the chalkboard, we could see the tack was stuck there, hanging in the middle of her backside. Me and Ryan and Michael thought we were going to die trying to keep ourselves from laughing. It was probably the funniest thing that could have ever happened in the history of the world. You should have been there. "Excuse me," said Andrea, raising her hand to ruin everybody's fun like always. "Miss Daisy, I think there's something stuck to your skirt." Miss Daisy turned around and pulled out the tack. "Who did this?" she demanded. "I did," Ryan bragged. Go to the principal's office, Ryan. All right, Ryan whispered, pumping his fist. I'll be back in a few minutes with the candy bar. Is there anyone else who wants to go to the principal's office? Miss Daisy asked. I do, said Michael. Can I go again? I said. Hey, I asked first, Michael complained. Quiet, both of you. Miss Daisy pretended nothing unusual had happened and went back to her lesson, but I saw her look at her chair carefully before she sat down again. A few minutes later, Ryan came back to the classroom. Mr. Klutz was with him. So, did he give you a candy bar? I whispered excitedly when Ryan sat down. No, Ryan whispered back. When I told him that I thought he would give me a candy bar like he gave you one, he got really upset. He told me he was going to call my parents and have them come in to talk to me about what happened. I think we're all in big trouble. Oh man, I decided it wouldn't be such a good idea to be best friends with Ryan anymore. I should have kept my big mouth shut about the candy bar. So boys and girls, that chapter really explained kind of that maybe Mr. Klutz sees something different in Ryan versus everybody else. You know, if you do get in trouble, it's important to own up to your mistakes like how Ryan had to. So let's keep going. The chocolate party. I wonder what that could mean, the chocolate party. Tell me your predictions in your next seesaw, what that could mean, the chocolate party. When I thought about it, putting a tack on Miss Daisy's chair was a pretty dumb thing to do. Mr. Klutz went to the front of the class. I was sure he was going to bring all of us to the torture chamber in the basement, but he didn't look that mad considering what we had done. Mr. Klutz can't do those things, she said, but remember when all the students in our school read millions of pages in books and were rewarded when we turned into the gym into a video arcade? That was quite successful. Mr. Klutz even dressed up in a gorilla suit for the evening, if I recall. How about a chocolate party, suggested Andrea. Yeah, everybody yelled. Said Miss Daisy. I like that idea. We all got very excited because if there was one thing that was just about everybody loves, it's chocolate. Kids started shouting out things that we could have at the party, like chocolate cupcakes and chocolate fudge and chocolate bunnies and chocolate ice cream, and on and on and on. Now, boys and girls, maybe in school, maybe in kindergarten, and maybe in Mrs. Halpern's classroom, even if you went to preschool, or in fact, really in everyday life, what was one of your favorite rewards for doing something good? I remember when I was young, maybe in first grade or second grade, whenever we would hand in all of our library books, we would get a pizza party. So what's something that you really like as a reward that maybe you get in school or at home if you do something good? Comment that on Seesaw. But wait a minute, Mr. Klutz said. What are you going to do to earn this chocolate party? We could read another million pages, suggested Ryan. We did that already, Emily said. How about 1,000,000 math problems, I said. What a wonderful idea, Miss Daisy beamed. Ever since we taught her how to add and subtract, Miss Daisy loved math. Math is hard, Ryan said. How about 100 math problems? 1,000,000 math problems, Mr. Klutz insisted. That's my final offer. Take it or leave it. Well, take it, we all yelled. Agreed. If all the kids in our school do 1,000,000 math problems, I'll throw a party with so much chocolate you'll be sick for a week. I'll bring on the bonbons, Miss Daisy volunteered. Hooray, we all yelled, except Ryan, who looked all mad. I'm not going to spend my free time doing math, Ryan said. I hate math. I wouldn't do extra math if you kissed a pig on the lips. Okay, as an added incentive, so boys and girls, that word, incentive, it basically means like an extra bonus. So what's going to motivate you? So that's a word we talked about yesterday. What it's going to motivate you in order to do, something that necessarily you don't want to do. So here a perfect example is Ryan hates to do math. He does not like math, and I am the same way. I do not like math. But if somebody was offering me a chocolate party or Ryan a chocolate party, it would be an incentive or a thing to motivate someone in order to do the task. Okay? Mr. Klutz said one night at the party, I will kiss a pig on the lips. Have a nice day. All right, what a cool, wacky guy Mr. Klutz is. He's the coolest principal in the history of the world. All right, boys and girls. So let's see how long this next chapter is, and then we're going to maybe read it. Otherwise, I'm going to keep you guys on your toes. Nope, this is one for tomorrow. So the next chapter we're going to read is called Teacher for a Day. I wonder what that can mean, teacher for a day. Now, I want you to make your predictions in Seesaw, okay? Now, again, tomorrow we're going to read probably another 2 chapters, and then tomorrow's Thursday, so then we're going to read another 2 chapters on Friday, and we're going to finish the book next week, okay? So be on the lookout for these questions. I love reading your Seesaws, so keep sending them in. I love the comments, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a nice night.